NBA. You feel me? And like he been in this game for a minute, so he got some cool little perspectives on like the sports industry. You feel me?
Yeah, I'm about to find him right now. Shoot,
So
Get some buckets.
my Twitter the same as the IG handle. So
oh, for sure, for sure. I'm gonna shoot it to you.
I
All right,
see
y'all want to go ahead, get started and let Cotton just chime
yeah,
in.
he texted the chat and said he'll be on in 5, so we can get it
Yeah,
rolling.
All right, Mike's a hot about to start the countdown.
Bet. Yo, what's going on, sports family, man? And we back at it again with another episode of Mike and Friends. And today, it's the usual suspects, man. I got Nate checking in all the way from the West Coast, aka the best coast. Nate, what's going on, man?
Man, you already know. Blessed to make it to another year. Happy 2021 to everybody. It ain't too much different from 2020. You already done seen, but hopefully, this year we got some good things coming. So
For
happy New
sure.
Year.
Man, happy New Year's to everyone else too, man, for sure. But before we go ahead and get rolling, let's go ahead and shout out the sponsor, a new sponsor at that, AQUANO, man. AQUANO Hydrate. Make sure you go over there and check out AQUANO Hydrate on IG. Go over there, like, comment, subscribe, man. They're a new company, fresh off the ground. So make sure you go over there, check them out. Tell them that Micah and Friends sent you, and let them know we said what up. As usual, shout out to National Sports Chat. That's the brand, the label. That's all that, man. Go over there, like, comment, subscribe, do all that. And make sure you go over there and check out TOV Sports, man. Tell Dave we said what up. That's how this whole broadcast is being shot and being brought to you right now.
What up, Dave?
But I'm trying to tell you. But let's go ahead and get it cracking. Whew. We got so much going on, man. We got the Lakers. They're planning on visiting the White House, man. So I wanted to get your thoughts on just the Lakers going up to the White House. What do you think this entail, and what all do you see any benefits and gains from this?
Man, I respect the Lakers for not even
This is
entertaining
water
the idea.
too, not no.
I was about to say my man's got the
This is
Heineken.
water.
But no, I was, so I'm glad they didn't even entertain the idea of going to the White House during Donald Trump's era, and I think it's good for them to start off on the right foot. LeBron was already on the campaign trail with Joe Biden to kind of start this off. He was also on the campaign trail with Hillary back in 2016. So, I mean, he's pretty well stated, very progressive guy, pretty democratic. And I think the team would kind of reflect that as well. All those guys, they're never silent when it comes to speaking on racial injustices or white supremacy or anything like that. So, I think it's good for them to kind of start on a new accord with a new president because with Donald Trump right now, the NBA has had some problems. He's often came at them on Twitter, whether it's Steph Curry, whether it's Steve Kerr, whether it's the LeBrons, the NBA definitely didn't have the best standing with this current front office. So, I'm glad to see them starting on the right foot. Hopefully Joe Biden can, do some things to kind of progress a lot of those issues and not just be a face for everything to just remain, but, just start it off on the right foot and give them a chance. That's all we can do now.
Absolutely. And I definitely want to salute the players for do this, and more importantly, the Lakers, because you could tell the son of LeBron really got behind, really head front. So definitely salute to him for doing that. I think this is a good move. You know, I mean, I don't really expect like just major change to come from it, but it's always good just having more black faces in that building, and just getting our voices heard and getting our points across, and just demanding what we need as a race, as a human race. You know what I'm saying? More importantly, but definitely, I think this would definitely be a good move. I would want to see how if it'll change, like in this presidency, with a lot of people coming to visit the White House, like because we had the Warriors who missed out on the trip. We had
Though the Warriors haven't gone the past like 3 years because they first won in 2015, then they lost 2016.
yeah.
So they first year they got Obama, but 2016 and afterwards they've been Trump. So they haven't gone to the White House. I don't think any team has visited from the NBA has visited the White House since Trump's presidency.
For a minute. Then you got like even with the Lakers this past year, even though it was COVID, even if it wasn't COVID, I'm sure they wouldn't have stepped foot in there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I definitely just, like I said, I don't expect massive like changes to happen with them visiting the White House, but I definitely salute the act by LeBron because you could tell this is something that he's the head of. And I think it's good just to have our voices and our faces just in that White House, you know what I'm saying, and being heard. But before we get into this next one, man, I guess we definitely got to shout out my boy Cott checking in all the way from the East Coast. Man, Maryland's own,
what's up, family?
PG's County's own, Howard's own, Georgetown's own. Man, we got my boy Jay Cott checking in, man. What's going on with it, family?
Everything's great, man. Just blessed, man. Happy to be here, man. How y'all doing today?
Man, we cooling, man.
Living.
I gotta get you in here on this first topic, man. With the Lakers visiting the White House, what do you expect to come from this? Do you think this is a good move? And yeah, just what do you expect to come from this, man?
I think it's a power move on the Lakers' behalf, especially with the political, just everything going on right now, the current, vibe of the country. It's a power move, dog. Like it's definitely sending a message to Donald Trump, who will eventually be out of office when he makes the move. It's not a slap in the face, but like you all mentioned, that in itself is a unique opportunity, and it gets a lot of visibility, and it's just a way to continue to voice their opinion and what needs to be heard about the climate of America right now. It's a very trying time. Unique times we've never seen before, in all honesty. So I feel like it's a major division, and we need to somehow come to just some cohesion, something we could just live amongst each other. We ain't got to be best friends, and we all know what LeBron and that Lakers organization they on our side. You know what I'm saying? They speak that needs to be heard. So,
and Pop said he was gonna go too.
Yeah, I mean,
I seen Popovich definitely. I forgot who reported it, but he definitely wanted to get in on the mix too and just see what was going on. So that's always a plus, when you got people with a different skin color than us, definitely fighting for the same thing, fighting for our freedoms and stuff like that. So definitely salute the Pop for that.
It's kind of funny though, because like obviously you can't put racism aside, but besides, put racism aside for this one scenario. Why would a team have wanted to go visit Donald Trump in office anyway when he was feeding them McDonald's chicken nuggets? Right. Like I remember when he got the whole Clemson team, you feeding them chicken nuggets. So racism and policy aside, why would you even want to go to the White House to eat McDonald's chicken nuggets? So I mean, I don't think
so. I mean,
man, exactly. Like that's just degrading.
And he's constantly disrespected the NBA, multiple professional sports leagues for just using their American civil rights
speaking, for literally speaking
speech, and just bring light to real issues that affect a lot of us out here. And I mean, just the fact that like I said, Donald Trump, he's a different type of guy. He's not too understanding. He's tough on his ways. So I mean, just the constant disrespect to the league, like you said, Nate. That's just come on, bro. That's courtesy.
But also too, just salute to the league though for just because typically you definitely want the leader of the country that you're in to definitely be, give you head nods and stuff like that. But they wasn't seeking the validation at all. And it was pretty much just like, hey, man, you ain't riding with the right side of this. Is, you know what I'm saying? F you. So definitely salute to them for just standing firm and backing the players. You know what I'm saying? So,
definitely. Absolutely with that.
Do y'all think we'll see any more like protests or anything like what the players are doing, like just stopping the NBA and stuff like that for causes like this?
I think we shouldn't see as much, especially for something so like what happened with the Capitol building last week, right? Obviously, that was a terrible event. We should all take note of it, but that's white people, violence against white people. That's white on white crime, as much as they like to coin the term black on black crime. The NBA is like predominantly 80%. As much as they should be involved in political issues, that's not a certain issue that I feel like we should feel bad for. You feel me? As a country, we should look at something like that and be like, that's unacceptable. But like, taking a knee in those exact instances, it shows you have an understanding of, policy and what's going on in your country. But at the same time, we don't need to give reverence to the Capitol building being stormed by the president's supporters. That's what the president wanted. He demanded that to happen. So I think we still will see protests, but I hope that it's still more so toward the cause that the original protest was for, which was for equality for, African Americans and like people of color in the country.
And Nate, to your point, I'm confident that it will be. I mean, that fight never continues to stop, even regardless of what occurred with Trump supporters at the Capitol. I mean, that battle that Black African Americans are fighting in this country doesn't stop regardless. So I know personally here at Georgetown, we've been taking the kneel before every game. Utilizing our amendment rights to voice our opinion, and it's been that's what it is. Regardless if we were doing it before it, whatever happened at the Capitol occurred, and we're doing it now. So I don't think that those two lines would be skewed.
Well, to your point though, they need to be more consistent. So like they stopped taking the knee until the Capitol building thing kind of happened again, and like doing demonstrations. So that's kind of not a point of frustration, but it was just a little bit confusing to me because I thought, the whole movement was supposed to be a permanent movement, to your point. Like you guys haven't stopped, you guys continue. But since they've left the bubble, I mean, there's no more displays of the names, no more displays of the Black Lives Matter. I mean, like you said, we've seen a few, instances like when they're taking a knee, but I kind of would wish it was a little bit more consistent. But also, I'm not going to sit here and beg for them to be more consistent. They don't have to do anything. And I appreciate the players for, because, you got to go out on a limb and kind of go against your brand. All the brands in America don't want you to kneel. You feel me? They may not want their guy to kneel. So I give them props for that. But I am looking for a little bit more of a consistent effort, to your point, Kyle.
I feel
definitely like, and and what you said, Nate, too, like you said, we can't, what I'm saying, we should just be happy that they're doing that. But, as a consumer and as 80% that makes up their business, I mean, we have to be able to demand something, because without us, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's your business gonna do? And that's for the NFL,
right?
Not so much so as the MLB and MLS and stuff like that, but the things that are dominant in America, those two sports. Hey, man, and we making up a great majority of this. So if we saying effort, then it's gonna be effort across the board. So definitely things should be, continue to be done and stuff like that. But I had a question for y'all real quick. Does John Calipari, does his son hoop?
He's on the team. He a little practice. He on the roster.
Okay, because I seen something on Twitter this week, and he was like, I guess they had took a knee or something like that, and he had tweeted a photo out of that, and everybody was like, I don't know where all these Kentucky fans came from. I don't know if they from the woods or something. They on there like, man, this is why I won't watch Kentucky basketball. Like, bro, going crazy. He had hit him with, hey, man, if y'all feel like that, F you type. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know if his son assistant coach, is he hooping or what? I don't
know. He a hooper, bro.
Like
it's crazy because like to that reaction.
I think his name like Bradley or something like that.
I understand. It's like the fans of these schools, do they not see who's representing them on the court? It's majority players. Like, how can you not like you like the players, but you don't like them like they're people? You know what I'm saying?
God, God,
Like, you
real
know,
though.
I don't get it.
This is because this get us into a real deeper conversation. It
Yeah,
just like kind of like a slave master mindset. It's
Mhm.
them niggas good as long as they doing this and doing this on the court, and they ain't, you know what I'm saying? They
I don't want
go
to
to
see all
school,
that
get
other.
the yeah,
It's the
y'all
whole
niggas
shut up and
good for
dribble
that.
thing.
Yeah, right,
But it's like for anything else, it's like, nah, they're not good.
right.
Fuck 'em. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. It's like a slave master type mindset, man. And especially when you got these schools like that in the middle of America, where's University of Kentucky in like Louis? Nah, it ain't in
Yeah, right.
Louisville. I don't
Nah,
know.
it's not. It's Lexington. It's in Lexington,
Lexington.
Kentucky.
You
But
know
the
what I'm
crazy thing is, like, that's how you like those reactions from white men are the type of reactions we need if you really ally. You know what I'm saying?
saying?
Like, if you
Right.
watching this and if you're a white man and you get more upset with me saying that I support, another white man kneeling for the flag, then you probably have more issues at stake.
Yeah.
But those are the type of people we need to be allies, like who aren't, who aren't opposed to going against who they know and what they've always known to kind of make a difference. Like Calipari's son, growing up in Kentucky. He probably, if he played basketball, I'm sure he's around some black people, but his day to day, he's probably not, completely surrounded by African Americans. But for
But
him to be able to
nah,
just
you
be like,
gotta
take a
think.
stand,
You gotta think he would pop. So he
that's true.
John Wall. He would
Right.
all of them.
True.
Like,
He's on
He
the he's on
he
the
got a
team.
different perspective.
He on the
Yeah.
mob.
yeah,
And he grew
yeah,
up around the mob since he was young. You know, your parents, your household got a huge impact on how you come up. So
For
right.
sure.
Calipari, he a real one. He not going, you know what I'm saying? So it only makes
Mhm.
sense. Like, I'm not surprised by the move at all. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
crazy, like you said, that all these, like, the hate is so real. Like,
Man.
Man.
crazy. But you know what
And
I'm saying?
that's for any institution. Like you'll see these people like, well, not I won't say any institution, but PWIs mostly, because you ain't gonna get none of that from HBCU, of course. But
Hell
you
no.
got these schools in the middle of America, and these North schools or Southern schools, or why they're doing this. Like Mississippi State football coach Mike Leach, very popular, you know what I'm saying, football coach, well known in the Northwest region. He coached up at Washington. He coached down and he's at Mississippi State now. He was at Texas Tech. Crabtree, y'all remember when Crabtree, Richard Sherman said at the Crabtree at the Super Bowl, like
Yeah.
that's who he coached. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he's on the record, good friend of Trump, all that. And he's saying racist stuff before the season start, and ain't nobody gonna check it. You know what I'm saying? He had dudes literally leave the program because it's like, man, F dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? He get the free will to say all this, fuck dude. Like
Mhm.
I ain't bowing down to no mentality. And it's like a lot of these kids, I feel bad for them because it's like, all right, if I don't go here, then where? You know what I'm saying? A lot of these, I ain't gonna say a lot of these kids, but some of these kids don't have options to go to another D1 school. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, right? That's a whole another different conversation. We can get
Man.
into that
Crazy.
heavy on the next podcast,
Yeah,
man,
because
because there's so
that's
much
something
just little
we got to talk
nuances in
about.
Right.
that. Yeah.
Right.
But let's get over
Situation
to
is
this.
everything in this shit, man.
What'd you say?
I said your situation is everything in this shit, man.
Yeah.
No matter how much talent you have. So
Yeah, that's a fact though.
yeah.
But let's roll over to the second one, man. We got
Another
Bill
one.
Belichick rejecting the presidential Medal of Freedom, man. I just wanted to talk about this just because it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But I definitely don't want that illusion to get in the way of what's really real. You got Belichick rejecting it because of, what happened on the Capitol, which I'm for that. You know what I'm saying? I agree with that. And I'm not saying, like him and Trump been friends for a long time. Like I guess Trump was checking in with him when when Belichick's wife was going through cancer heavy. And I guess he been knowing Trump for about 20, 30 years. So I'm not saying you should unfriend a friend or anything like that, because he probably know a different side than we know. But still, even in the letter that he wrote, he was saying like, he had slanted media and all type of little different, just a little weirdo. Like he
Yeah.
was basically saying that he was
Really
proud of his
for it.
leadership and stuff like that. Like, bro, if you feel like that, you should just took the award. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to razzle dazzle the public by just the headline. Bill Belichick rejects it. Nah, go take the award. Go take it. And I ain't gonna look at you no way, because I ain't gonna say you wrong because you've been knowing dude for 30 years. So that ain't none of my business. But still, don't say one thing, media portray something else, but in the letter you back saying some other shit. Like, come on, bro. It's time to say what you need to say and mean what you say. You feel me? So that's all my thoughts on that. Like, what y'all got some thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Cop.
Oh nah. So I mean, it's shaky, man. Like you said, I mean, they had a past relationship. I respected him not taking it. I mean, at least he recognized what happened at the Capitol was wrong and just, you know what I'm saying, completely un-American, anti-American as to what we actually stand on or claim to stand on. So I mean, at least he recognized it to that much. I'm not sure too much on him and Trump's relationship, past history. Who knows? I mean, like you said, if you know him as personally as a friend and not as a president, then I mean that doesn't necessarily tell his political views and values. You don't know who he goes for in that vote booth. I mean,
And
at least
you
I
could
don't
tell,
have
like,
heard any proof. But I mean, like I said, ultimately, I mean, he did make a stand and rejected the award. So you got to appreciate that for what it is.
for sure.
Like, because right now, I mean, it just shows that I'm not happy with what's going on in the current climate of this country, and I mean that's all we could really ask for. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I appreciate him for taking that stand.
Yeah, and I like you said, like, I respect him and all that, but it's just I guess my point on it all is, like, you know, and I know a lot of, you know, white people all that. And I'm sure we all do, because, you know, just the different rooms we have to be in. I'm sure it's a lot of them in there, but it's time out for the nonchalant. Well, I don't know. I'm not political. Nah, bro. I'm not political either, but you can't use not being political as just being ignorant. No,
And
because you seeing what's going on, and the news is
too. I feel that 100% too.
Yeah, like, the news is putting it out there. So now you can't be ignorant, because ignorant just means you're not knowing, which is nothing negative. It just means that you don't know. Like, I'm ignorant to things. Like, oh, I didn't know that. Now it's getting to a point to where it's just blatant stupidity and covert racism. You feel me? Like, if you still standing with somebody and stuff like that, it's like, come on, bro. We in a different time now. Everybody know everything just because of this. So you can't, you can't not seeing stuff, or I'm not a political guy. I don't try to. Jesus Christ, I get it. That's cool, but nah, bro. If you gotta stand on the right side, bro. You can't act like it's everything. Cause I didn't see it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But Nate, what you got?
Man, I'm not giving him any credit for declining an award. I mean, it's not like you guys just said, it's not that difficult to look around at the climate right now, white or black, and see that you probably shouldn't accept a presidential Medal of Freedom, you know, considering he might get impeached. But, you know, even besides the point, I'm not going to give him credit for declining it, because, like, it would be different, say, if he asked for this award, or, you feel me, he was in the running for this award, then all of a sudden he just, you know, drops out the race. But nah, I mean, he declined the award that was offered to him. Like, it's not that difficult. You know, I don't think it's like I should be giving him a pat on the back, because he still, like you said in the letter, affiliates with Donald Trump. And whether you affiliate with him politically or friendship wise, I mean, like, the stuff he's just said about people of color, and for Belichick to have coached people of color for so long, you feel me, and have outstanding relationship with people of color, like, for him to even be in the friendship circle with Donald Trump, I mean, like, that just, you know, I can't give you no pass for that, because you know what type of guy he is. I mean, like, we knew what type of guy he was like, when we was kids, bro, with the whole Central Park Five, you know, like, you know what type of guy Donald Trump is. And if Belichick's his friend, I'm not going to sit here and act like they got to agree on everything, because I don't agree on everything my friends say. But it's a fundamental difference when you are disagreeing about rights. You disagreeing about human rights. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of me where I draw the line. But it's kind of like, you know, Belichick and all these other, you know, politicians and stuff right now. Everybody's cutting ties from Trump because it's the right thing to do. But they should have been doing that years ago. You know, like, I'm not giving Twitter
that shit when it was really detrimental, because, you know what I'm saying, now it's to the point What'd you
Right. Like
say,
I'm not
Cal?
even I'm not giving Twitter or Facebook no passes for just now blocking him. Like, bro, he been lying on Twitter. He been lying on Facebook. He been lying on every
He
social
been
media
saying
platform.
stuff.
So
He been saying stuff that can incite riots of violence and
Right.
stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like when the
and that's why it's
when the
like
shooting happens. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
mhm.
a whole different thing, and I feel like people just got to know that. Like especially not even people. I'm gonna be more specific because that's the guy. White people got to know that. Hey, it's time. You can't act like you don't see. You know what I'm saying? That's like me cool with y'all and like y'all doing something effed up, and I'm like, nah, man, I don't know that
Man,
side of them. I know this side of, you know, what I'm saying? Like even like
you
say
can't
for
you
instance
can't act like you colorblind.
R. Kelly, like I know this side of kills, but I don't know that side of kills.
Right.
No,
Man,
bro, no,
like you
bro,
can't act colorblind
no.
in this point in time, bro. Like you said, all the information is out there. So like it's hard for me to, congratulate Bill Belichick for declining this award. I'm glad he did because it would have been a really bad look had he accepted it. But I mean, him declining it, all this stuff to me is just like a little too late. Like where was all this anger? You feel me? When people was getting shot, people was rioting. Where was all that type of anger? But now all of a sudden, an old ass building gets stormed. You feel me? And everybody is just so mad, like they haven't seen what's been going on the past 4 years. So, you know,
Yeah,
if this was the tipping point, then I think people just still needs to really wake up.
for sure. For
That's
sure,
a
man.
good
And
point,
just
Nate.
my last thing before we move on is, man, just whatever you protesting or standing for, just be consistent with it. Like you said, Nate, with the NBA, like how they kind of fell back because it was like, all right, we kind of into a new season, new things.
Mhm.
Nah, we gotta rep just as harder. Cause now that ain't nothing going on, we gotta rep just as hard until we can't just rep when something's going on. We gotta rep when it's
Something
not
bad
going on.
happening.
You know what I'm
They gotta
saying?
be
Yeah,
So
like
they gotta be every day. Fact.
yeah, like it's like exactly.
No,
It's the
honestly,
everyday thing, bro.
no, honestly, I hadn't even noticed. I've been watching the league, but I've been catching mostly highlights, so I didn't even really
mhm.
like
Yeah,
catching like beginning of games. And I mean, I know
yeah,
I know the NCAA level is still names and quotes on the back of jerseys,
yeah.
equality. I know at Georgetown they gave like a list of 10 quotes that they could put on the back of their jerseys. So,
hmm And
it's
Word.
they do like little commercials every now and again. Like you know what I'm saying. You watch a game, you may get a little, well, just justice for all, justice
right.
for no, no,
The
no. You
names are
got to be
gone though.
direct with
I
The
mean,
it.
names are gone. The Black Lives Matter is gone. Stuff like that is relative. And for the
Yeah,
most part, the kneeling was gone too until the past like 3 or 4 games.
yeah. Just
I
keep
will
up with
say
it.
what I did notice though, and to your point though, it did happen after an occurrence happened where
Mhm.
like it sparked the flame again. But the league did allow players to come out with multiple, just using their platforms to continue to
For
talk about
sure.
issues. So I mean, but like you said, it has to be constant, it has to be consistent, and it has to not just be a fad, a trend. It has to be what it is until real justice and change happens.
And that's not to say players aren't doing that, you feel me, in their respective
Facts.
communities. So, don't get me wrong. I'm not here sitting here saying that players aren't doing anything.
Right.
But just on the very visual level, on the very level of just us being a consumer and watching the games, like you said,
You gotta
Micah,
see it.
you know, a lot of that stuff is kind of gone. And you don't want to just always wait till something bad happens to put it in people's faces because that's how they
Yeah.
forget. So if you really want to make like a
hmm
fundamental change, that's got to be the stuff you're doing every day. And I'm not gonna say names on the back of the jersey the answer, but
hmm
you got to be doing something.
Yeah. You got to make people live with, they got to live with this every day. So they know,
Mhm.
so it could just, I think it was a book or something or a quote or something I heard that you got to do something 7 times before it becomes a habit. You got to really instill this in people's brains like, hey, this is the route we going. You know what I'm saying? And if you go on that other time, you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they definitely need to make sure they just keep, just keep putting the word out there and just standing strong and firm on it. But
One last point on this topic,
for
and
sure,
turn to a whole nother conversation we get on another day. But it's crazy, like when just this the occurrence what happened at the Capitol. It's like certain people they're ingrained. It's like nothing that even a protest. Like, are you sure? I'm not even sure for protest or you know how long. I know the fight is continues, but to that certain group of people, I mean, it's like they're willing to die by what they believe.
yeah,
Man.
and it's crazy because what we watched. uh, policemen, certain policemen, not the entire justice, but let these people in the White House. So you know
Yeah,
you must have some, you know, uh, coinciding views. You know what I'm saying? They must
yeah,
like it's they're in the there's certain people in blue as well. So
Man,
yeah, I mean we wanted to keep it's a continuous fight, but I don't know. It has to be some real systemic change before any
yeah.
athlete. Um,
And it just lets you know that we definitely living in in two different realities. In one country, you got people that's out there on the Capitol that think, oh, this is what they're trying to shut us up. They're
Right.
trying to
hmm
kill us. Like, you know what I'm saying? They think they good. You feel me? But that just lets you know how much I don't know. It has to be something on social media. I get it. It's definitely freedom of speech, and I never want to censor anybody's freedom of speech. But people gotta, people that aren't privy to information or don't understand like how to research stuff and just go off what people say just because it's somebody. Like, nah, even with me, so even the fans out there, if I say some stats, nigga, go check them. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, go
But
check
people
them.
got to realize though, social
Make sure
media
I'm
ain't
valid. And
even
if I'm lying, then tell me I'm lying, folks. Cause hey, go check them. That's all a
social
part
media
of
ain't
our
even freedom
research
of
from.
speech though.
Yeah, huh?
You agree to terms and conditions every single time you log on to an app. Like the whole argument of like freedom of speech, it's
Yeah,
not true. Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, those are all private entities. That's
and
not your government trying to
that's the
shut you up
thing.
like that. You feel me? Like that's like me being in a classroom. I got accepted to a school. I shut up and they kick me out. You feel me? They're not
Mm-hmm,
in my freedom of speech, but you got to
mm-hmm,
adhere to the terms and conditions. And you feel me? You can't put
yeah,
false information out there.
and that's another thing. That's a whole another. Just people not knowing what a private company is. Like, hey, man, they have the rights to tell you, hey, this is. I don't want you on here, and it
Facts.
ain't nothing you can do about it. But
right.
hmm
let's just go ahead and roll over, man. Let's get into this next one, man. We got the biggest surprises and disappointments of the season so far. And man, I'm gonna start it off with Cotton, man. What's some of the biggest surprises that you've been seeing these 10 games in, and what's some of the biggest like disappointments that you've seen these 10 games in?
Man, well, I'm gonna start off with my disappointments. I
Yeah.
know on a couple shows ago, I came on. I was really heavy on the Russell Westbrook down.
Champions.
Oh Lord.
I know I may have made a quote even claiming they'd be top five. I was hyped. I can't lie. I can't lie. But I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Russell
I'm with you on that one.
Russell Westbrook. My biggest issue with him, and people see the triple doubles. Oh man, he got a triple double first game, second game. He the only one. He breaking stats, records, all that BS, right? Because we getting the L's. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
So I've noticed like he does rebound the ball well. He's just still erratic and he's inefficient with his jumper. I personally think if Russell Westbrook, like, I don't know whether it's a pride thing, he got to maintain his career average. He's still shooting it at a high clip when we have a guy, and it's crazy. The Wizards have actually played better when he hasn't played. Yesterday
Yeah.
they beat Phoenix. He didn't play.
Number
Um,
one team in the West. Well,
right.
They
He's a
defense, but like they defense is terrible though. Like I can't put that all solely on Russ
I'm,
because like they defended at a much higher clip yesterday.
he said you got
I'm not putting it solely on Russ at all. I think
True.
and I think it has potential. I mean, we still got to take into account the circumstances of the season. Very short off season. Just got to the team. Hasn't even been with each other for a year yet. You know what I'm saying? It takes
hmm
time, chemistry, and cohesion. Especially when you got a guy like Brad, who's obviously proven to be an elite scorer. 60-point game, 40-point game this year. He's doing his thing. So that takes time, but like, you know what I'm saying? Just it hurts a little bit initially to see us go through those down spell. But I think we're trending up though. I mean, we got a couple wins. I really like the kid Neto. He stepped in. He's proven to be a solid player. Like he hits open
He been in the
shots.
league for a little minute.
Right, veteran. Um,
hmm
Smith. So I think Thomas Bryant went down with an ACL injury. Hope he gets better, recovers fast. But it just gives more opportunity to a guy like Mo Wagner. We have a veteran in Robin Lopez. So I think it just takes time to gel. So I mean, that I was a little disappointed with how they started off. For surprises, man, I'm gonna have to go with uh, I'm gonna have to go with Charlotte Hornets.
Ooh.
I didn't know how the fit would work. I will say, respect to Gordon Hayward. He has been hooping. He's been solid. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, we talked all that cash. He may be worth that
Man,
40.
that he was my surprise. I wasn't even gonna say the
He
Hornets. I
may
was gonna
be
say
worth
him.
that 40.
Yeah, he's hooping. I really like Melo. I think he's gonna be good. We're gonna touch on that later on in the show.
Yeah.
But I really like how he's his first impression. I think they deep, man. They got guards. They so guard heavy. Malik Monk isn't even getting any burn.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
gone.
we know what he can do.
He's
Uh,
gone.
but I feel like Miles Bridges is coming into his own.
Facts.
I think he is really up in his style. He's an elite finisher,
The
and his
twins.
jump, and
He can shoot too.
yeah, I'm saying his jumper is completely reformed, rejuvenated. Like he's really his stock is rising. So he got a good young core out there. I think they're a team to watch. Sure, they're my surprise.
Man,
All right.
for me, I'm gonna go with my disappointment first. And man, I gotta give it to the Hawks, man. Just because I thought so much more of them, even though I think they're like 4-5 or something right now, which is not bad.
They're like
But
5-5.
5-5.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, but it's like, man, I had them being in, between like that 4 to 6 range, and it's like it's looking like it's not gonna happen. I think you got Bogdanovich who went down. Is he down for the season?
Yeah,
I saw that injury. He is down though. I did see that injury. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it's a
So
season-ending injury, but he is down for a little minute.
yeah, so he's down there. I don't know, man. I think they just get too caught up and Rondo hasn't been playing. So I don't know if it's just them getting caught up on just the Trey Young show or something like that. But they gotta be able to put it together better than what they have been doing. Because I definitely thought that they were going to be a better team than Charlotte. Which Charlotte came out and beat them, the other night. That's when Melo had that 22-point triple double.
yeah.
So
Hey, quick question. What's
yeah,
up with the rookie that they drafted? The kid from UCLA.
Onyeka, he playing next game. I actually just saw the little announcement. Yeah, he playing. He
yeah.
got injured during the draft process, so I think
Okay.
he's coming off a broken foot, but he's definitely playing next
I
game.
was looking for him. I hadn't seen him. I figured something happened.
Hey, real quick though, 'cause since you said rookies, I don't like or Coro. I don't know, man. I don't
He
know.
inconsistent, but so are the
Mhm.
Cavs though.
Yeah,
The Cavs, Hornets, Hawks, and Knicks are all like they started off hot, like we should have assumed because you feel me. They had so much time off, but they're all kind of starting to revert back to the norm.
yeah.
Knicks done lost 3 of their last 5. The Hawks are a
Hey,
500 team.
hey, hey,
The,
hey,
the Hornets are a 500 team. Like that's what we should have expected. But I want to hear your surprise, your biggest surprise
yeah.
first, and then I'm gonna go
So
ahead.
real and my last rookie girl. I like Precious, the
Achua,
Miami. Yeah, I
yeah,
like him. He's solid. But
Yeah.
man. And I'm gonna just, even though we on a 3-game skid, man, I gotta say it, man. The biggest surprise is the New York Knicks, man. We out of the top 8 right now, but we ninth and we one above Brooklyn. So we the best team in the state of New York. So definitely salute to us for that.
Oh,
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
Brooklyn record?
Huh?
they like 5-6, bro. They're not
We
looking too hot.
5-6. We just lost 3 games in a row, but we still we putting it together. We beat some quality guys, but we still got to put it together. One thing I can say, of course, it's kind of some jokes around this, but I don't know. They came out hotter than what I did expect, and I feel like they got some pieces that they could look in. Like, all right, we want to keep Randall around. Beard is definitely
Yeah,
growing at a good rate, which I didn't think was gonna happen. Obi Toppin is still some questions, you know what I'm saying? But you got to, the Knicks are definitely forward heavy, so we'll see him every now and again. But I definitely want to see more from him. But I think we're in a decent spot, better than what I expected, better than what I'm sure all of them expected. So I'm not mad at it, man. I think we could get better, and I hope we get better. I'm not expecting much for the season, man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But
but
that's a surprise from us though. Nate, who you got, man?
And I'm gonna commend your Knicks first because they definitely a surprise. Not in terms of record, just play style. Like they just play a lot harder brand of basketball, and that shouldn't have been surprising under Tom Thibodeau. But I
Yeah.
didn't think that their pieces would have grown into that. Like Bear's playing hard, he playing defense. Julius Randle, like you said, looking like a legit all-star. Like not even just putting up numbers on a bad team. Like they've been winning games and he's been making meaningful plays. But my biggest surprise team so far is the Indiana Pacers. The numbers that Sabonis is putting up right now, bro, are legit MVP numbers in like any season. You know what I'm saying? He's putting up like 20, 12, and like, he getting some blocks now. Like I think him and Miles Turner finally found a nice little balance because they both putting up the three. Like before, Sabonis wasn't putting up the three, but now he putting up the three. Like, I've seen some really good plays from him, just, showing the ball and going, which I didn't really see too much early on in his career. And Victor Oladipo too. He's starting to look like Victor Oladipo of old in terms of the steals, in terms of the defense, on-ball defense, in terms of scoring and efficiency. Like he's having one of his best years. And this is without now TJ Warren and without, I believe, what's the other guy's name? I'll get back to Jeremy Lamb. So without those two dudes, and they still are toward the top of the East.
Brogdon and Oladipo there for sure.
But they looking good though, I like the way that and that's a new head coach, Nate Bjorken. Like he really got them playing at a different speed. So I rock with that. My biggest disappointment of the year so far, I gotta say the Brooklyn Nets. Like all the jokes and shit that I was talking about KD and Kyrie before about like just not meshing. It's already starting to come into fruition. Not between them, but like Kyrie and the organization. Like I just read a report about like the organization is not pleased with how he's handling the communication and stuff. Like we're only 10 games in. Like if you are missing because of personal reasons, please just communicate. So then it won't be a story. Like these are the type of things I was talking about with Kyrie and the New York media beforehand. Like those are simple fixes that you can avoid just for your personal brand. Like communicate with the front office, let them know what you have going on. But like supposedly Steve Nash don't even have updates on him, And even before he got, even before he kind of left, KD had missed some games. So, I don't really count that against them. But when they were on the floor together, their defense was really, really bad. Like after those first two games they had, it's been awful. You know what I'm saying? Like awful. Like they let the Hawks put up 140 points. They still won that game, but the next game they lost, like they lost to some, I wouldn't say bad teams. Cause the Hornets are, they play hard and stuff, but they've lost to some average teams because they can't stop anybody. Similar problem with the Wizards. Like they really just can't stay in front of anybody. And I thought that was one of the problems we'd have with Steve Nash just because he's never been a defensive guy. Then they brought in D'Antoni, which we talked about, Amari Stoudemire. Like the way that they constructed everything, it just didn't lead me to believe it was like complete enough just yet. And I am kind of disappointed in just like, like Kyrie, just come on, bro. Just if you're not going to show up, just communicate. That's really all I'm asking for. And I think, a lot of fans are probably asking for it.
I feel like it'll get better though, because it's so, you know what I'm saying? It's so young.
It should get better.
I ain't giving Kyrie no passes because communication is definitely key. But I think it's early, and I think we'll see a significant turnaround. And these guys are still learning how to play with each other and stuff like that. But I think they'll be decent. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll probably be in that top 4, top 3 in the East.
Defense got to come around though first though. Like I haven't seen enough defensively from them yet to like have huge faith. But like you said, it is very early, you feel me? But that's why, I have high expectations for them, or I had very high expectations for them. So far they haven't met them, but it's very, very early. So they got time, a lot of time.
One last comment on this topic. I just want to talk from a general perspective. We have to remember like the circumstances of this year are very different. And it's a lot going on. You don't know what people have going on in their personal lives. I know personally we have restrictions up here, and like saying going home, we're not supposed to leave. We're not supposed to leave campus. You know what I mean? So, and I'm pretty sure it's the same way in the NBA. And these guys are grown, and they might think that like I heard he didn't make it to something because he went to a personal family party or something like that. But I mean, right now that's out of the means of which is the regulations. So I mean, I feel like
they said he was good on that though. I think I read something earlier. They said he was good on that.
Nah, not on his sister's party because he was maskless and it was a gathering of like 40 people. So he hasn't reported back. So like he did report himself out because of personal reasons at first. Now he's gonna have to do like a quarantine a COVID quarantine because he was in a situation of too many
Right.
people. So
Right. Yeah, that's a little, that's what it is.
that's just leadership, and that's
Right.
what it kind of boils down to, though, for
Right.
Kyrie. Just leadership type act things. Like, this is not me ragging on anything Kyrie does for the community, or that's not what we talking about. We talking about straight basketball.
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
even talking about
being available is a big competitive advantage. Like, if you're gonna put yourself out and then jeopardize you being out another week or so, like that's just not smart leadership.
Very true. I was just going to say, like, I saw a GM. I read an article. They were saying that this is the season of really putting an asterisk on, not last year's bubble.
Yeah.
Because Jason Tatum just got COVID. And, like just traveling in general, for these teams, it's still a risk. You're still more at risk. Especially, how susceptible you are to catching this virus. So, it's going to be tough, and I feel like we may have to see the league revert to a bubble later on in the season for the playoffs. You never know.
You just
Next
brought
topic.
brought us into our next topic, man. Do you think the league will impose a bubble? You know what I'm saying? You could keep going, Kat.
Yeah. So to that point, I think that we initially, if too many of the league stars, and I think the stars are really really key. If they're getting it, then I think that, because let's be real, that's what the fans tune in to see. I know I get disappointed even when guys are taking, uh, load management games. Like I'm not as interested in the game if the main guys aren't there. So that's what it's always been. I think that if that continues to happen, Jason Tatum getting it isn't a good sign. Kyrie having to be quarantined. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it may get to that. Now the vaccine is a positive. The fact that it's on the way. It's here actually, but I think that we'll be seeing major sports leagues getting it very soon, so that could prohibit the bubble. But if that's not the case, then I can see it being a very realistic option.
Yeah, me too. I definitely think that Adam Silver is definitely gonna do whatever he can in his power to make sure it doesn't get to that point. Just because you don't want to continue to have these teams continue to miss out on arena money and stuff like that, and you want the fans to get as involved as they can. But I'm sure if things continue to get worse, then I'm sure they would probably try to go to the vaccine as a first resort. Like, hey, you gotta have a vaccine before if you're on a team and if you're a fan and want to come to the game, you gotta have a vaccine or something like that. Then if that still doesn't work, I could see them escalating it to a bubble, and I definitely think, because I read something earlier like, they may pause the league for 14 days, which I don't think is really realistic, just because the way that they set the season up is already shortened, and they're already in a race to finish before the Olympics. So I don't think it's a lot of wiggle. I don't think they gave themselves a lot of wiggle room to be able to be like, all right, we're gonna chill for 14 days. Then you got to figure out like, all right, we got to reschedule all these games that were going to happen in a 14-day span. I don't think that's realistic. So I think, if anything, they would probably try to get the fans from being inside the stadium. Inside the arenas, which could be a sticky situation because a lot of these fans are already season ticket holders. We talked privately about the conversations I was having with Atlanta Hawks representative about season tickets. But all of those fans at those games are season ticket holders. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be hard to really be like, all right, we're going to refund you or prorate, refund you a prorated amount of this. And people ain't trying to hear that. So I think they're going to have to think of a solution, and they're going to have to think of something fast, which I think they're capable of doing because they showed us this whole time. They led the way last year in sports. So I'm sure that they would be able to come up with something. I'm sure Adam Silver has something brewing. Nate, what you got?
Well, they actually increased like the COVID protocols like either this morning or yesterday. So like you're not supposed to be really leaving your house at all except now for essential travel, which it kind of was already, but now they're trying to be a little bit more strict on it. They sent on a memo today, but I halfway agree with you guys, halfway don't. In the essence that I think the bubble should be something that comes along for the playoffs, like you guys mentioned a little bit before, because you don't want to have any type of flare up of COVID within the players during playoffs, especially because you can miss a whole series. So I think the playoffs, you got to do a bubble. And I think Adam Silver kind of, the NBA kind of saw this coming. That's why they didn't do the second half of the season schedule yet, because, they got to figure out how many games they postpone, how many games they might just end up having to cancel in general. So, that's kind of the reason they never released the second half of the schedule. But I just think the NBA, is taking its time to kind of figure it out. Like we saw with MLB, like we saw with football, they were really, really struggling early on in the first few weeks of the season. And then, they kind of started to figure out, like, the players are going to just start realizing it's kind of more of an accountability thing. Not to say you can't get COVID, just being at your house, depending on who you live with. But, you got to hold players accountable. Like, if you want to win a championship, being available is a good thing, So, are you willing to do what it takes in terms of staying at home? Do you have the situation to stay at home, which is not something I mentioned, say you have kids that you want to travel and go see, or family sick, those are unforeseen circumstances. But I don't think that they should go back into a bubble just yet. You got to give them a little time to figure it out, because I was very critical on baseball early on and football. But, as the season progressed, we still see challenges with it, like with the Browns. Their head coach wasn't available. Stuff like that is just going to happen. Like COVID is a new norm. So people are going to get COVID, unfortunately. It sucks. But like Kai said, as long as it's not the stars. So if the stars are being diligent and, hopefully not contracting COVID or, going to strip clubs or whatever, and not breaking the rules. If you get COVID from somebody else in the league, it happens. That type of stuff is going to happen, and they plan for it. But, if the stars start getting it at an alarming rate, then like Kai said, that won't be a good thing. But I think we got to give them like at least another 2 weeks to kind of see what their plan is now that there's been like a flare up, and then see how they'll progress.
Man, I think Harden been had the vaccine, man.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I don't know if
delivery.
I'm factual on that, but I think he been had that joint.
He gave it to him in some hards.
He said what?
They slipped it to him.
Man,
Little baby gave it to him with his 4PF chain.
For sure.
I mean, he was like, "Take this shot, bro. We turned up all summer."
I think he been had that joint, man. But man, we gonna get into this next topic, man. I'm gonna let Nate lead the way with this. Do you think Curry is the best point guard ever?
Look, right now, in our lifetimes, I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, like wholeheartedly. I just don't, see any other point guard with the resume that Steph has and just the impact that he has on the game. You feel me? Whether it's, the quick 3-point shots, the distance on the 3-point shots, the efficiency he hits them at, and like the gravity that he makes. I've seen teams right now guard him with 3 people. You feel me? Like that really doesn't happen often, especially to somebody who's like 6'3", bro. Like you might triple team a center if he's really dogging you, but we talking about somebody who's 6'3" shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff, revolutionary. So in our generation, I'll say yes. Ever, I'm gonna go ahead and say no, because Magic Johnson to me is the best point guard ever. I mean, in his 12 years in the NBA, he went to 9 finals, won 5 of them, and got 3 finals MVPs. You feel me? Had he not gotten HIV, which obviously at the time, people didn't know a lot about, we could be saying Magic got 7, 8 rings. You know what I'm saying? Like he came in as a rookie finals MVP, as he just came from winning a college championship. You feel me? We talking about a dude who averaged 19 and 11 for a career over the NBA in terms of assists, and somebody who was 6'8". So he may not revolutionize the game in terms of 3-point shooting, but I mean, Magic Johnson kind of paved the way for a lot of big guards. Your Penny Hardaways, you know what I'm saying? The like point guard wise, there's not really too many big point guards. The Sean Livingstons, the Ben Simmons, like Magic was kind of the front runner for that type of build and that type of mold. Like big guys weren't really handling the ball before Magic Johnson was, around. So I'm gonna have to go Magic, but Steph still has room to climb, and I don't think it's a far race for him. I mean, he only 31, 32, but right now I probably got to put him at number 2. You got championships, he got MVPs, he got all-star appearances. Those are kind of what I look for in terms of all-time rankings.
I'm going to have to give it to Curry, man. And you said he got the championships, the MVPs. He has a unanimous MVP. You know what I'm saying? So definitely.
That don't mean nothing, bro. Everybody knew Michael Jordan was the unanimous MVP back then. There's always one hater in the room, bro. Let's be real.
That's the thing. That's how great he was. You couldn't even find room to have like, man, I'm gonna give it to Brown this year. You couldn't even find nobody like
the writers
knew what it was.
the nerds that like voting on this type of stuff, the writers, they like a little bit of parody, bro. But let's be real. Michael Jordan was by far the unanimous MVP. You feel me? There's been years Bron should have been unanimous. Same for Kobe. Like, you feel me? I don't think, the voting for the unanimous to me don't
But
really
he was the first
take it
though.
over.
He was the
Do you
first.
feel
But
like
that's not the thing
What's the
that's take
definition
it
of
off.
unanimous? So nobody else got a vote?
nobody? Yeah, 100% of the votes.
100% Curry? Come on.
That ain't the one thing that just take it off of me. But the thing that is gonna take it off, you got Magic who really walked into a situation. Like, I understand Magic, he would be my second one, but he walked into a situation where it was something that was already built. Curry.
Let's
I
get
don't know about already built.
Let's get into that though, because
I mean, they was older, but they was there.
Kareem got hurt and he played point center. And
Yeah, he played center. He used to jump balls in that finals, bro.
Yeah.
That's why it's like he's so diverse.
It's a good situation, but he made it happen. His front out the gate since he was a rookie.
Kareem wasn't winning titles before Magic Johnson.
Yeah,
he had one title before Magic Johnson.
He came in out the gate, ran point center, got him the dub without Kareem.
That's cool, but it was to me, it was already a situation that was already, you feel me, already set, and it was the time and the time of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, I'm not discrediting it because they had the guys who were hooping in should have been hooping in, but now it's a whole different ball game. You got guys like Curry, like you said, he may have revolutionized the point forward or point center. I get it. But the way that Curry has brung shooting, like, not even brung, the way he just revolutionized it. Teams, like, he was shooting more threes than teams. Like, niggas,
I can agree.
It's over with. Like, I got to do this. You know what I'm saying? And Curry really brung it, and that's why I say it's for me. He brung analytics into it. You got niggas got to looking at analytics like, oh, yeah, well, I guess, if we shoot as many of these, then we got a better chance. Like, come on, bro. Niggas wasn't doing that.
This is the thing. Like, Steph did revolutionize the distance with people shot threes, and, like, you feel me, just the
higher clip.
However, the game was already starting to trend toward that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 3-point game was already starting to trend up, bro. You know, like, and that's not me hating on Steph, because he did revolutionize, like, the behind the back pull up threes. Niggas wasn't really pulling those unless you was like that guy back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But you feel me? The trend of 3-point evolution was already kind of on its way. So, like, I can't give him the whole credit, the entire credit for that. But, he does deserve a lot of the credit. I'm not going to take that from you. But Magic, to my point, revolutionized the big man with the ball. Who be having the ball in their hands? LeBron, Luka Doncic, the the Penny Hardaways, the T-Max, your 6'8" plus type guys, bro. That wasn't happening before Magic Johnson. You feel me? Like,
Curry came through and did it better than all them. What I ain't gonna say. Well, he's doing it currently better than all them niggas. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, go ahead, man.
I can't. I will see. I want to break it down to this topic now. I think Curry is the best shooter ever.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes him the best point guard ever. If you look at Curry's success, he started his trend started really going up when the Warriors took him off the ball and started letting him, you know what I'm saying, just be a straight scorer, coming off screens, creating. Don't get me wrong, he's great at creating his shot off the dribble as well. But
for sure,
he didn't lead his team in assists for a lot of years. So what is your real definition of a point guard? I mean, I think Magic Johnson. I consider Curry like in the same boat as an AI. You know what I mean?
He's a combo.
He's a combo guard. Like, I feel like he's the best shooter ever. But if you're talking about strictly point guard, I can't say he's the best for what I know as a point guard, team facilitator. Then yes, he does it in different ways. His energy is contagious. You know what I'm saying? Moving off the ball creates just as much movement on the ball. I mean, that's may have even bigger impact on the offense. Moving off the ball. It messes defenses up. I mean, it's just as important. So, I mean, but if you're talking about straight facilitator, I think Chris Paul is the best pure point guard for what we know point guard is, of our generation that I've seen. That's my shooter, but Chris Paul that I've seen and actually run a team and, you know what I'm saying, with assists while getting the shot. I'm gonna say that's me personally. I'm not mad if you say Curry because I respect Curry wholeheartedly. But if you talking about best point guard, he's not.
See,
I'm not putting him
those
up.
are two different conversations. Those are two different conversations, though. Because look, Mike, I know what you're saying. You're talking strictly positionally what they're listed as. We're talking about in fact, though, he's not really a great. Like, I wouldn't consider Steph in fact a great point guard. Like, he's just not a great floor general. You feel me? Like 2 years ago against the Raptors, right? When KD went down and Clay went down, they did that boxing one and it ate Steph up because he wasn't really used to handling the whole like the whole weight of the offense, you know what I'm saying, in terms of ball handling. Like, that's not really him, you know. Yeah. But if we just talking positionally, for sure he's better than Chris Paul.
I mean, talking about positionally in all-time career, I got him over Chris Paul. But if
I guess this feeds further more into what y'all saying. But y'all find me a nigga who hit 115 threes in a row. But nah, hold on, real quick. Hold on, real quick.
That's all talking about shooting. That's what I said.
And that's what I said. It's feeding into what y'all saying. But real quick, I just need y'all top 5 of all time. Then I'm gonna start with you, Kat.
All right, I'm going Magic. I'm going Steph. And this is all-time rankings by positions.
Mm-hmm.
What they listed as. I'm going Magic. I'm going Steph. I'm going IT. Isaiah Thomas, the original.
Okay.
I'm going.
And he was good two-way too. That's the thing.
He was.
He was good two-way.
He got 2 chips and 2 Finals MVPs. He was like that.
Number 4, I might gotta go. This is tough because I don't think Dame. I'm a Dame fan.
It's too early.
Not yet.
It's too early. I'm going Nash 4.
Okay.
And I'll probably go Jason Kidd 5.
Okay. I go Magic. I'm gonna go Steph. I'm gonna go IT, like you said. I can rock with that. Then 4, I'm gonna go John Stockton. You feel me? If we just considering everybody, obviously, I'd probably go John Stockton because honestly, bro, I be watching Karl Malone highlights. He didn't really do too much that was impressing me. That nigga John Stockton put his ass in all the spots.
Yeah, you're like the mailman, man.
Bro, what? The mailman was eating off John Stockton. You feel me? Like, I mean, he second leading scorer all time, bro.
That nigga dropped 27 and 13. Like,
I know he did. But then don't get me wrong, but you feel me? John Stockton was a big component of that, bro. Every time you have a historic big, you usually got to look at the point guard that they playing with. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And I got to give a nod to Stockton. He got to the finals twice, lost to Jordan.
He had been 27 and 12 for his career.
He ain't the only one
over Nash, but he was tough.
And then I'll probably
time MVP. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but you know how I feel about that 2-time MVP from Steve. But so I'd probably put Steve 5. It was either between him or Gary Payton at that 5-6 for me. Because Glove is the only point guard to ever win Defensive Player of the Year. You feel me? And he was really cooking like that back then. He was one of the only people who gave Michael some issues.
For me, it had to go. I would go Curry. I would go Magic. I would go Paul. I would go IT. Yeah, and I would go Nash. But Oscar Robertson and Stockton is definitely, you know what I'm saying, they'll be following up somewhere close. But
Chris Paul competing for that 5th spot with Jason Kidd for me. Definitely.
Yeah, he can compete for that one too for me.
I ain't mad at
Micah, how is Steph better in the 12 years Magic played? Only 3 of them he missed the finals, and 4 of them
got a finals
MVP. I just like him better. Like I like him better. Like Magic was more dominant, like for sure. Like I give you that. He was way more dominant. Nigga 6'8", so of course he's gonna be way more dominant. But the way Curry got these kids nowadays, bro, like man.
But you gotta think though, that was the 90s generation.
Well, no, just go back 2 years ago. Of course, LeBron's gonna always be LeBron. But niggas was acting like bro, not even acting.
No.
If he was talking to these kids 2 years ago, bro,
but that's who Magic Johnson is to my dad, though. You feel me? My dad about to be 60 in February, and that's who he is. But you got to think, not only the fact that he was a 6'8" point guard, the whole Showtime era, pushing the ball ahead, getting transition buckets and easy looks, outletting the ball hella far. That's Magic Johnson. You know what I'm saying? The game wasn't played at that speed until Showtime Lakers came around. So, like, yeah, Steph revolutionized the game in terms of three-point shooting, but had Magic not played at that clip, we might not even be scoring 100 points. You feel me? Like, they were barely scoring 100.
You can make the argument Magic had more of an impact on the game of basketball than Steph has. You can make
I think more niggas want to play like, I think it's close. Because you got a lot of big niggas that like, it's a lot of big niggas that like trying to be guards.
Really big guard, bro. I feel like, bro, even LeBron James came out and said his idol was Magic.
There's no Bron without Matt. There's no Bron without Magic.
Bron, we don't see a Bron. He's the first. Like, the league is trending. Magic Johnson will still be one of the best players in the league right now today if he plays.
Look, this is why I can hear Micah's argument though, right? Because Magic revolutionized it for the people who were already athletically gifted. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already 6'8", you feel me? You got the mold, you got the athleticism. Curry revolutionized the game for your modern man. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the argument that Mike is making, because like, you go to the park, bro, everybody
likes that.
That's all I'm saying.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you go to the park, everybody's trying to play like Steph, because they can play like Steph, because like, you don't need supreme athleticism to shoot the ball far. They can't do it, obviously. They try.
Motor skills too, bro. Everybody ain't blessed with the same ability.
Steph is a great athlete. You feel me? Don't get me wrong. He's not a freak.
Get many shots up in the gym as you want. Curry, what he does is
different.
It's different. It's gifted. Like,
I've seen Steph catch a 360 lob in warmups. He's not your average man, so I hate when people try to make that argument. But like, more of your average man can do what he does than what Magic used to do.
I'm saying he's legit 6'3", long wingspan. Like, he can move too. Like, he's
not a slouch.
He's a good athlete. He's a better athlete than he gets credit for. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's an argument. I got much respect for Steph. I think he definitely revolutionized, and it's trending. Definitely what we're seeing in today's game. He definitely is the number one influential person on that. So there's no respect, but I think that, like Nick said, we had to really. I've talked to a couple OGs, and they've said that without Magic was literally one of the first. I mean, him and Dr. J, they really were like the first actually doing really creative things in basketball. You know what I'm saying? So like, they really started a lot of that shit.
Oh man. LeBron better than Magic.
Man, we don't even gotta have that combo. Come on now.
I don't know.
I rock with Magic.
You said you don't know.
Nah, I'm no disrespect. Bron.
I don't even think Magic would say that he was ever better than LeBron. He's better that one thing than LeBron though, which is passing. You feel me? His passing and the fact that Bron is a great passer says a lot, bro. Because Magic was doing passes that made no sense, bro. I'm talking full court bounce passes to Kareem. You know what I'm saying? People weren't doing that back then, bro.
Yeah, too much.
People weren't doing that back then.
No, but you said full court passes to who?
Kareem. It could be James Worthy. It could have been anybody.
What's your point though? Like,
I just want to hear it. You feel me?
The one that played with, you know what I'm saying? Like, the one that played with KD and Clay.
Curry wasn't passing, nigga. He's shooting.
That's why he's not the best point guard.
But nah, though, man. I feel y'all points. I get it. I'm just a little biased, man. I like Curry a lot, man, and I think I just liked him just because I found him early at Davidson. Like, I found him early. And me and my brother used to always tune in, and my brother said then, like, man, he pretty much damn near one of the best shooters, and I ain't see it, but yeah, he that. But let's get into this last one, man. The only attribute I can give to LeBron with Magic is his passing ability. I don't know. But let's get to this next one, man. Is LaMelo better than Lonzo, man? We seen him go head to head. We seen. I ain't gonna say it because I don't want my opinions to stay off thoughts. But we seen the head to head. We seen the new youngest player to ever have a triple double. I think it was like, who was it? How old?
19 and like 240 days old or something
Nah,
like
like
that.
157 days. Like it was
Mm.
still early. Like he's still early on the like 19 type tip. You know what I'm saying? So I need to get y'all thoughts on this. Do y'all think LaMelo is a better basketball player than Lonzo right now? And if he's not right now, do you think he can be?
Can I go get mine on
You
this?
got it.
So yes, he is. I called this, like you said, you found Steph back when he was at Davidson. We've been watching Lord LaMelo since he was 14 years old. I've been called he was going to be the best one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like from day one. So, young, he's talented, man. He's naturally gifted. He can, and even though like his numbers didn't show it, he can shoot the ball. We've always known him as a shooter. Um, and then like I feel like his passing ability is different. You know what I'm saying? He has a great court awareness, court sense. You know what I'm saying? He came out the gate throwing no behind the back, no look passes on the transition. That's a tough pass. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
To pass it in stride at that pace, at that speed, at that level, that's like he's been showing he's unique. And like I said, I mean his play. I mean Lonzo is cool. I think he's a solid, good NBA player. Um, I just don't think that his ceiling is nearly as high as his brother's.
Do y'all real quick? Do y'all see that? It looked like he been doing that to that nigga for years. Like it just
He has.
Tino Hills.
Like think about it. He was the freshman, still dropping 40 with his brothers.
Yeah.
Man. And they were one of the best teams in the nation. It's not like he was playing for some scrubs.
Right. He was getting off every game as a freshman.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Young, he's definitely talented. Man. I like his you know what I'm saying, his confidence. I like off the gate. First time they played Brooklyn, he was at KD Kyrie's neck like it was anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I really respect about the Young. And I think he has his sky's the limit. I think he has a lot of potential to be good. He has good size. He can finish well around the rim. I mean, we all know Lonzo. He didn't have typically the best start to his career. He's just now really coming into his own kind of this year. You know what I'm saying, their 2K rating say it all. They both 77s.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hey,
for 5 years, one rep.
Oh no.
Update. LaMelo probably 82 right now.
Yeah, he probably 81.
He probably an 80. He probably an 80.
Hey, Cot, real quick, is this gonna change like because we spoke about it, I forgot how many episodes back, but we were saying the rookies that had the most upside. Does his performance change? Your thoughts on that? Do you think he has the most upside now, or you think it's somebody else?
I still can't put him over James Wiseman. I think that he's an ideal situation out there in Golden State. Coming up under and Stephen Curry, and who I want to touch one more time. I don't want to I know what I've said, how he doesn't facilitate as well. He's a great passer as well. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't have the ball in his hands as much. But that's another topic. But I think that he's in a great situation out there. Draymond Green, you know, just a winning organization, and you can tell they're featuring him. He has good size. He can run the floor really well. I like his shot selection. He can show he can score at all 3 levels. So I can't, guys like that. You know what I'm saying? They're the premier guys in the league nowadays. I mean, he's looking like a young AD right now to me, what I've seen. He has the potential to be there. So he's still number 1 for me, but LaMelo is a clear number 2. I like Wiseman, but I like what I've seen out of LaMelo. I'm very impressed. So I'm gonna go put him at number 2 in that list.
For me, man, and I know it's early, but I'm just going off of like I think Nate, this is me and you. We talked about just eye test. He got it, bro. I think he has it. I think he's gonna be able to be better than Lonzo. Lonzo definitely, he's more into his league and professional body than LaMelo is right now. But I don't think that's discouraging LaMelo, man. He goes out there and he always tries to always make the play. Even though he even in when he was playing in high school and overseas and stuff like that, and even at Spire, he was more shoot first, but you could now that he's got to the league, he's more pass first guy. Then he's always gonna get his shots up. And I just think, man, he's gonna be a special guy, man. And we had this conversation earlier, like, all right, he's a more flashier passer, but we don't know if he's a better passer.
Man,
I
yeah, he
don't
is.
know. I don't know, man. I
Man.
think I don't know, man. LaMelo putting it where it need to go, man. And one thing I can say about Lonzo always like dictates the pace of the game, like of how the ball is moving down the course. I give him that, but I think LaMelo is gonna be. I think he's gonna be better than Lonzo, and I think he is better than him right now, man. Just off, I'm watching the game. I watch his head to heads with him, and I'm watching his head to heads with other players and stuff like that. And I feel like he's gonna be a special guy. Um, I think he'll end up having a more longer career than Lonzo, just because we see how he's contributing now. And Lonzo, what is he like 3 years in now?
Yeah, this is third or fourth year. This is fourth year, matter of fact.
Either third or fourth. And
But
it
they didn't
ain't,
pick up
what I'm
his
saying?
rookie option.
Yeah, like he really still hasn't really, really hit that point to where the other guys in this draft class has. Granted, Markel folks, prayers up for him too, just coming off that injury, but he was dealing with the injury. You got guys in this class like Tatum that's already read up. You know what I'm saying? So
Fox.
is Fox,
Yeah,
Mitchell,
that's
Donovan. These guys are already read up. So I definitely don't want to judge their success off his, but when you got the guys that's in your class already getting read up, that should let you know something. You know what I'm saying? And you're not read up yet, which I think LaMelo would be one of those guys in his classes that's going to lead, lead the re-up. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to be him and Wiseman are going to be one of the faces of the re-up. So, man, I nothing but, I definitely want Lonzo to keep getting better, which I think he will. You know what I'm saying? I think he would. He may fuck around, average a triple double one year. You know what I'm saying? Like a Jason Kidd type triple double, but like a 10, 10, and 10. But I think, man, it's clear. It's clear, and I understand why LeVar always talked about LaMelo. He always said, man, Lonzo good, LiAngelo good, but LaMelo's the one. And I get it. You know what I'm saying? I see why. Because you could just the different type of demeanor and confidence that LaMelo has on the floor, man. He's not worried about, man, I'm going against, fuck it. I'm going, nigga, I'm putting this joint up just with him, and I'm going to slice and dice these niggas. So definitely shout out to him, man. It's not fully lost for Lonzo, man. It's still if Tony Snell can get paid, Lonzo can get paid. You know what I'm saying? And I wholeheartedly believe that. Nate, what's your thoughts?
Man, y'all pretty much said everything on the head. I don't see Lonzo being a Tony Snell type player. Like I do see him getting
I'm just saying
a
if
solid
Tony Snell
contract.
can get played, if he can get paid, you know what I'm saying?
But like yes, and yes. LaMelo is better than Lonzo. Will LaMelo be better than Lonzo? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's all yes. Like just the eye test. I think Lonzo does have a similar skill set, but LaMelo just, it's crispier. Like it's just much more developed. Like you can tell that him playing overseas in the pro game really helped him out. Similar to kind of how it helped Luka out. You playing against a grown man earlier. And it's like LaMelo kind of came in and is already acclimated to, making winning plays. Like I didn't see that from Lonzo early on in his career with the Lakers. He's just a young developing player, which is really what you can ask for. But LaMelo is win ready right now. He could have been plugged on any team, and I think made them better just because like he could lead a second unit and he could lead a first unit from what I've seen so far. Like the Hornets got some good young talent down there, which is helping him out. He's playing behind some guards who are veterans. Like Devontae, not a vet in the league yet, but 4 years in college, you feel me? He had to scrap his way up. Terry Rozier, been in the league for a minute, playing behind Gordon Hayward, you feel me? Like they have a nice mix of veterans on that team that can really help him acclimate. And when Lonzo got to the Lakers, you feel me? It was B.I., it was Josh Hart, it was Kuzma. Like that was a group of kids. Like they weren't ready for that LA spotlight. And I'm glad LaMelo did get drafted by the Hornets because he's not so much into that media spotlight. And the Hornets have drafted well, but I mean the swag is there. The jumper looks better than Lonzo's. I mean his handle just looks more fluid. Like I mean it's really no. I mean I don't see Lonzo ever being better than him at this point. I still like what I've seen from Anthony Edwards. I'm not ready to just, give up on my pick just yet. 10 games in, I think he's shown some flashes of really being able to score and defend so far. But you know, LaMelo is a ball handler. So at the end of the day, if the ball's in his hands, he's gonna have the ability to make a play. So out of this draft class, he'll probably be the most impactful player. You know, I just like we just talked about Steph and Magic. He's 6'8" and can shoot and run the floor and makes flashy passes. Not to sit here to say he's the perfect mix of the two, but he has elements from the old school game and being able to really direct the offense. And then he got the pull up, like I'm gonna get buckets type of offense too. You know, like we've seen that already. And like the jumper definitely doesn't look as broken as it was before. Like it looks pretty clean to me. So, you know, I'm pretty all in on LaMelo. I'm rooting for the West Coast kid. I'm not down on Lonzo. I think he can add some really good value to like a championship team at some point. But numbers wise, I think LaMelo will be the clear favorite.
Real quick, Nate, because you said something that I'm like, well, damn, dumbass, that's a big point. You know what I'm saying? Do you think Charlotte, like just LaMelo being in Charlotte, you know, has something to do with his success early as well? You know, being I don't know, probably 2,000-3,000 miles away from his family, you know what I'm saying, on the other part of the United States. Do you have that? Do you think that's a part of his success as well?
Well, he had to grow up a little quicker. My bad, Kyle. Let me finish this real quick. But he had to grow up a little quicker. And I think it's kind of similar, like what I just mentioned with Luka. Like the game is just so much different. Like the college game and professional game, it's a big gap in between. You could just tell kind of when the college players out, they kind of a little bit of starstruck. But like Melo, he was running a professional offense in Australia. You feel me? It may not have been with the best talent and league type players, but you've running similar offenses. And you know, it kind of goes to help out people like the G League, like the Jalen Greens and the Jonathan Kumingas. Like, you don't have to do the traditional college route to become a really good player in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, you it looked like you was gonna say something on that.
Yeah, I was about to just say, just the relative relationship, well, the different circumstances between getting drafted by LA and Lonzo and by Charlotte for Melo. I definitely think that it is to Melo's advantage. Like you said, Nate, you made a great point saying how they weren't ready for that LA spotlight. You know, that's big.
Man,
Forget
they were kids.
they were literally kids, and he made a great point saying how LaMelo, he has a couple vets around him. It's not as big of a market. So all even though he's the number 2 pick, or no, actually number 3 pick. So I mean, I feel like the spotlight was there, but it was nowhere near like it was for Lonzo. Lonzo, you got to think, you know, that was when LeVar had his coming out party when Lonzo was coming up through the ranks. So it was a lot more on. I think Lonzo took a lot of heat and prepared LaMelo for this situation even more. You know, seeing his older brother do it. So I think that ultimately, regardless of situation, I think Melo is the all-around better player. But to that point, I like Nate said, I think that Lonzo could be a really good player in this league and could be really. You know what I'm saying he's 6'6", 6'7". He has size. He's fast, athletic, and he's even though I don't think he's a better passer than LaMelo, I think
he's a hell of a passer.
Like you said, exactly. And he's a floor general, and I think he's in a great situation with finishers around him and Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. So I think they have a really nice young core down there. So I think Lonzo will have a good career, but LaMelo's looking like he's about to have a superstar career, like you said. So I mean, it's very possible. So that's no knock. Shout out to LeVar and Ball brothers. They doing their thing.
Yeah, and one thing too, you know, it's nothing out there in Charlotte but Jordan, Bojangles Chicken, and Cookout. I don't know if y'all had Cookout up there.
Slap.
Yeah, so it's nothing out there. It's nothing out there.
Slapping.
Oh yeah,
for sure. It ain't nothing out there but that. They still think Cam Newton that guy out there, but for real. But nah, man, I don't have nothing else. Y'all got anything else before we get out of here?
Oh man.
With y'all boys.
Facts,
appreciate y'all checking in, man. Again, like I said, Happy New Year's, Happy Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa. Oh, I said Merry Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, all that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all for tuning in and checking in with us always. The fans, man, like I said, appreciate y'all for tuning in and checking with us. Other than that, make sure you go over there, National Sports Chat. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow, tell us what's up. Go over there to Micah and Friends on IG. Like and comment on the post over there. Follow, tell us what's up. Follow us personally. You know what I'm saying? You see our IG handles on the screen. Make sure you go over there, follow TOV Sports, man. This whole production is being shot by Dave. So make sure you go over there, tell Dave we said what up. Also, go over there, check out the AQUANO water, man. Like I said, AQUANO Hydrate. Go over there, check them out. Go over there, follow them on IG. And also, man, I mean that's pretty much it, man. We in here and we out of here. We checking in. We gonna be back at it again next week, man. I know we took some time off, but we was just getting, making sure
Holiday
everything was
season.
lined up. Family was in town, all that. So, man, we about to keep it going and get back consistent with y'all, man. And we checking in and we checking out Mike and Friends podcast. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Here is something you can't understand. How I just keep killing, man. I'm from the South Rim, spinning like ceiling fans. Gambling with life, no complaining about the dealer hand. Back when niggas used to ride around the Dipset. Now these cops will shoot you on your live. That's a killer.
Yo,
Right.
man. Appreciate you, Cot.
All right, that's a wrap, fellas.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.